Now let's have a look at these replays brought to you by Thunder Robot. This is Bowder coming on through with a early hit onto Wolves U on that Viper with the purple longsword. Very early that he was able to get his hands on that one coming on through. Now we get to see you come through with that Viper V1. This is the time that poor ZDI just absolutely evaporates as Bowder are able to go for the full timing attack. Double parry now comes on out. This is BBE versus ASE. Tesla ultimate, unfortunately not going to be finding the vibe that BBE were looking for. It's all cleaned off of the board because of the cavalry balloon coming on through from Jiang Dong, heading now into the realm of Yang. This is how GG won with a Viper, Tessa and Wu Chen composition against KLA. Blistering Edge in that pole, so denied by the parry, and immediately GG able to find the full punishment follow through. OUG now turning on to JDG, tearing off the wings of that Vermilion Bird's Might. Buffers GG with their signature ranged theatrics coming on through, as here is JDG and DRG. Kylan versus Hardy denying each other the kill. I mean, speaking about like getting to see not just regular support players coming in through, we're actually going to get to see the full team of GG with the full hit of the realm of Yang. This is how they were able to win not just the 3 versus 1, but the full hit against that Sand Siphon composition. LXM going incredibly low, loses a lot of his armor, skirmishes over to his team so that he is in range of the Wuchen teleport, gets that wind wall to be able to fully reset the purple armor, and comes on through. Tumult ultimate is now going to be invested because GG don't have the opportunity of teleporting out of it, but LXM buys his team the space to come through with that Viper V1, catching a lot of these players when they're out of the AoE impact of that Kurumi ultimate. Then with that stun, they're able to chain into the Tessa ultimate to catch even more CC onto these players. LXM looking for the jump parry, isn't going to be able to find it. However, he's still drawing the Tumult further and further away from the rest of his team so that he can't act as that supportive position to save
a lot more of that Wolfpack and aggression. Now we're going to see XCM lead the charge on the Kylan versus TE. Now, TE on the Takeda, Sam Siphon, XCM just sitting on the outside, looking for some crowd control, not trying to get hit by the Teviol, but his teammate is taking too much damage, so he's going to come in with the slash, sacrificing his body for his teammate. Zipping at 1 HP is going to get executed. This is a tough part for Zipping when she's out of that cube. The Temi ult is so oppressive. Can Wolves bring this back in a 2v3 situation? Looks like TE is going to secure 2 of them. XEM is going to come with the follow-up, but Leo already has that F3 down. Blistering's actually going to come into his back. XEM now against the wall. Nowhere left to run, but the Kadi ult is going to come out. From the Sliver of Hell, I didn't even notice NHQ was still alive, but a lot easier than it is today. We're still seeing them doing it under this new point system.
Yeah, well, now we're going to get to see some replays from game number 2 following Bowder, first of all, against JDG Yiran with that F3, finding the hit onto the Hardy, coming on out so they can find that last little bit of a kill. TE now inside that realm of Yang, following along with Wash and his Kylan V2, looking to set these dashes up. Leo with that sustainability on the zip, making sure that he can keep using those dashes, as it is now going to be looking at GG. Kurumi V2 coming on out from Free OCJS, and that Zai V2 looking to set the chain sives up, does get scooped into the Tumult Whisper, into the charged R&B on the fan follow through. However, his players are still able to make sure that he is peeled for and isn't fully isolated and punished. Here is the absolute madness. This is what was going on from JDG's POV. 2tick putting himself away from the massive players, going voluntarily into the corruption 6 damage to put himself on the sidelines of the fight so that he only takes the storm damage and can use that Flamebringer and that 50% healing effectiveness cut that comes alongside that fire tick proc to absolutely
finals. Every point matters because there's a percentage. Now, Moxie, take it away. These highlights brought to you by Born For You Gaming.
This was before we saw that crazy third party coming through with all of these teams drawn in with that Bane's Breath AoE on the map. X1 here, the team that we just talked about, XOY on that Takeda, utilizing that ultimate activation to buy his Kurumi the space of dropping in with that armor circle. The Fury Shove setting up into the jabbing on that staff, looking to find the 2 versus 1 isolation with his Kurumi backing up, building in to set up for the Temi to come through and make it a 3 versus 1. As here's the Viper ultimates going off and off. LYD with the Wild Wind Spite on that fan, controlling all of the spacing around these players, finds the parry as well to set up into that V2 to cover the entirety of the safe space that has been left behind. This is how he was able to win that heal-off situation, always making sure that he put himself into the very center of the space. So even when the Tetsu came down with that massive F1 that knocks back every single one of those players, he was still able to come back in and just dodge that last couple of hits of corruption damage. However, it is not the Kurumi who's going to be teleporting onto that war.
These points still do matter, but first, brought to you by Born4You Gaming, we're going to look at the highlights of this game for ASC. This Firefly, OUG, I believe DRG was here as well. ASC is going to be able to secure that. Wolves off spawn with the Zai XCM, able to decimate OUG with his Zai ultimate, now going to the realm of Yang. JDG versus ASC. ADG, this was a super close fight. Touch and his crew is able to come out on top, but you see Temi Shink on the brink, but unfortunately for them, they are running into the wall. That is JDG's Touch on the Takeda, dropping 40,000 damage this game. Now GG tried and true, making their way all the way to endgame. Another highlight coming out from JDG, this time from Kiki on the Kurumi, jumping LB, able to secure the scale rush denial for DRG's WX98. Where are you going? You gonna go back in again? You're gonna eat this jumping area, get back down here. Pampy for this endgame, able to secure this last kill onto Kakaxi, getting 5-2-1 in the right direction. They still need 2 Hail Mary plays. I think they're at like 25-30-ish maybe. They do need to have 2 20-point in the last game before this bi-weekly finals. But first, the highlights, Moxie, brought to you by Born4You Gaming.
Yeah, Wolves with the hot drop. This is when they were able to come through with that third party, getting to punish OUG and DRG fighting each other to the death previously. Here's that massive scrap over towards Sunwing. JDG's 2-tick looking for that grapple lock onto Bowder's Uran. But we headed into that realm of Yang, getting to see DBE's Roy He coming on through with that Takeda and the fan gameplay. Those wind gusts gets hit into the Wisp, into the follow-up charged RMB on the spit, into the follow-up focus from those fist blades, and still lives with String Edge now on that pole sword attached as a Soul Jade. We're getting to see BBE's Ivan on the Temi, managing to find the interruption on the grapple with the first hit of the RMB. Here's the moment where everything went absolutely wild. JDG walked away with the most kills, but Roy He with that flamer, like you said, absolutely barbecuing everyone. However, the point that you raised about the Kurumi being the one that gets sacrificed for, that is very topical, because it was actually OUG's Kurumi.
Absolutely insane coming out from these teams today. For your last highlights today, brought to you by Born4You Gaming. We're gonna get DRG off spawn versus ASC. R&B folks are gonna come out from Don Q. ASC, this is huge after coming out from Ivan. Massive damage coming across the board, but unfortunately for BBE, they will get picked off later, but they're all spawned absolutely selling. Now looking at OUG's rise through this, securing, clutching up their 4th bi-weekly finals. Shinyu leading his team on the Kylan, but the absolute menace of the lobby, KLA, had all the Jades. Gold pole sword on QGG with his overcomer coming around, but definitely clutch play of the day definitely goes to X1 for this endgame. Able to secure this one, able to secure this final 3v3 after weathering the storm of 2 teams lobbying them going into that last little bit of endgame. But nice job from X1, and I agree with you, Moxie.
Yeah, that's a funny looking Karumi.